I'm harder than I ever been. Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates, all my bars on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me, and my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wilding out. Matter of fact, let me see.
Well, it wouldn't be Florida without this. A heavy tropical rainstorm coming down just prior to kickoff here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here we go, set. 10 cycles. Watch out now, 50 Fury. Ready?
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. The Bucs at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. It's caught. Smith. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Fournette, a first down carry. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Fournette on the counter. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Tua sets up to pass it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Once more, here's Ekeler. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Up the middle with Ekeler. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now they'll look to Willis to throw. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Buccaneers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Hey, Green!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll swing this out to Fournette. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, you know, this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7.
Ready, ready! Let's go!
Inside handoff now to and now a fumble. The ball's out. And picked up by the Chargers. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. Following during the fumble recovery. Willis. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Touchdown! Cortland Sutton with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. 20. Touchdown, L.A. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and get it right to the receiver. 1 move later, he's in the end zone.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team, because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers it on the scoreboard.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Willis. Throwing the out route, and he's got Eckler. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Play fake. Here's Willis. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approached this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Here we go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua, a pass underneath for Fournette. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
97. Check you.
And again, it's Tagovailoa. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Draw play. It's Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Willis. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Now Willis on 1st and 10.
He'll buy some time right.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 15. So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand.
Tua now on 1st down. Steps away to his left.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. And this one is incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Tua.
And now here's another interception.
Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd down. Here's Willis. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Tua, a final shot before half. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Allen Lazard as time expires in the first half. And the Bucs have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Point after here coming up. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. This offense ready for the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play to get my defense off the field.
He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. The 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Courtland Sutton, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half? And my goodness, another interception. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Chargers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like the game believed their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them.
And he's taken down, back at his own 7. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Mike Edwards picks it off, and the Bucs are going to take over at their own 41. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, they got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Willis. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. 3rd down, it's Willis. Steps away. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up 4th.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
They'll run for it with Eckler. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. On 1st down, Willis. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across the...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now up to 14.
Chargers 28, Buccaneers 14.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Tua's throw here pulled in by Lazard.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tua looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to...
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down.
And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Jonnu Smith from 13 yards out. And the
Buccaneers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Their own 31-yard line.
Ready?
The Charger drive about to get going. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Keon Crossen. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Hey, Matt. Black open.
Tua sets up to pass it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Got a man. That's Lazard. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Yellow, blue.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa dumps it off to Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Tua going to throw. He'll find Fournette again here. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now Tua. Godwin's got it. Touchdown Tampa Bay. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. So right back to square one. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Willis. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Roll, 52.
Tua. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So they'll try to move the ball closer here on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot would be just inside of 60 yards, 59 to be exact. Here's Tua. And he's got this to Jefferson. And now they're going to get the timeout. A huge play has him in field goal range with a chance to win. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, hooks it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Buccaneers, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blues, trips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm